Good morning and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of TVC Breakfast. I'm Veronica Danik Boy. Joining me this morning is Ibrahim Shita. Ibrahim.
Good morning to you, Veronica.
It's a good morning, despite the long queues we witnessed because of the matter of petrol scarcity. We're still able to make it to the office this morning.
Absolutely.
Right.
We have to thank God for that, Maybe we just have to ask the marketers and the importers, NNPC precisely, why we're having this issue. Probably because they're
NNPC said logistics issues, but then would perhaps talk about that in the course of the week. Anyway, today we have an array of issues we will be looking at, talking about the controversies still surrounding the U.S. report on the 2023 elections, how it is that opposition parties are surprised that the U.S. is given that kind of report. And then we're also looking at developments with Yahya Bello and his matter with the EFCC. And then we are also going to look at the jailbreak that happened in Niger State. But first, let's begin with this story where the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, has affirmed that he will not govern the state from a position of submission amidst the efforts to destroy the soul of the state. Fubara is currently engaged in a political dispute with his immediate predecessor, Nyesom Wike, and has appealed for the backing of all concerned individuals in the state to safeguard its future. Fubara made these statements during a speech at the Ubima country home of a former governor of the state, Sir Celestine Omehia, in Ikwerre Local Government Area. The governor, along with a group of some elders from the state, paid a visit to Omehia to offer their condolences on the recent passing of his mother, Mrs. Ezinne Cecilia Omehia. Fubara emphasized the importance of unity and determination amongst those who truly care about the well-being of Rivers State. He decried the evil of politics and bitterness and the telling danger it has on the progress of the state. Now, according to him, such a bad political culture should be discouraged in contemporary times. Fubara said anybody who claims to love the state, I'm quoting him now, should not be party to anything directly or indirectly that will bring us backwards. We will continue to support every cause that will advance the interests of our dear Rivers State. Now, the governor emphasized that he would not govern the state on his knees. He will stand to govern the state and stand continually on the side of the right. He thanked the elders and said bitterness would not take the state anywhere. They need to work together to help the state get to the position that people said it should be. Now, quoting him again, but politics of bitterness will not take us anywhere. So I want to thank you that at this stage, we have a few of you who understand that Rivers State belongs to every one of us. We must therefore fight together to sustain the soul of the state, he added, end quote. Interesting developments coming out of Rivers State. But my concern is the people of the state themselves who are yet to enjoy the benefits of coming out of this government, because not long after he got in, we began to see the battle here and there between reportedly he and his predecessor. And we saw where the State House of Assembly was burnt in the process, or caught fire, whichever word we might want to use now, in the process. We saw the president even wade into the matter, and both parties agreed to work, peacefully together, and agreed to the terms of agreement that was given at the time. But then the governor made some statements afterwards, and we're beginning to see that he's doing the part of the statement he made with regards to after that agreement was reached between he and the governor and the president, his predecessor and the president. But how has that moved the state forward is the question. Are the people reaping the dividends of democracy? They voted him into power. Are they benefiting from he being on the seat of power as it is? How is this impacting the growth of the state? These are key issues. If you are there as a governor, you're there to serve. So whatever the issues are, and yes, you will not submit because that's what he's saying in essence, he will not rule the state on his knees. So whatever that statement means to him, we are here to unravel because only he can tell us. But it's important that we put the people at the heart of every decision we are making as leaders.
Well, we don't know how long this fight is going to last for, but then it's really really sad that we're having just less than a year. We're having a godfather and the godson who has now become a governor, facing off to the detriment of the development of the state. Governor Fubara had a cabinet, if you recall that he had a cabinet reshuffle, made redeployments, and then Pro-Wike commissioners said, okay, they rejected, the redeployments, and then they resigned. Also recall that Rivers State Assembly also overrode Governor Fubara's, withholding of assent to a local government amendment bill, which empowers the House of Assembly via resolution to extend the tenure of elected chairpersons of local governments and councillors where it is considered impracticable to hold elections before the expiration of their 3-year term in office. So this is not the first time they were doing that. They also did that, twice this year alone. The lawmakers have also, threatened to revisit the plan to do the impeachment proceedings against Governor Fubara, which, after the resolution, they said they should stay action and all of that. So they said if he continues to breach the Constitution. So recall that the assembly, which you mentioned, was also teared down, into shreds during this dirty fight. Governor Wike, what's it called? The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, also attacked those who are supporting Governor Fubara, namely Secondos and Sekibo, calling them expired politicians, because of their stance. So in all of this, the people are in the middle, they are the center of this fight, because if good things are happening between the two, the bellicose party, let me just call them that way, the people will enjoy the dividend of democracy. But what is going on now, we can't for sure say that what benefits accrues to the people, for voting Governor Fubara into power, because they are looking forward to, okay, we want a better government, we want a better governance, we want a better representation. So if they are not getting it, then what is the essence of the government? And you know that this kind of a thing, when it happens, it's not even new in River State. It's just like a recurring, decimal where I help you to become a governor, and the next thing is, we start fighting. The Wike did that to his predecessor. The predecessor to Wike also did that. Now it is Fubara. So maybe Governor Fubara should also, expect, what will come after, his re-election. He might even say that he was distracted all along. So, but what I will appeal to them is that the two parties, the bellicose parties, should come together, sheathe their swords, and, move the state forward. That is what people want to see. We want to see you govern, and we want you to take, have a good grasp of your governance. You're saying that you're not going to govern the state, from your knees. That's a good one, but we want to see peace, at the end of the day.
Very importantly, that's what the people of the state need. There's so much going on in River State. Recall the tanker that fell and, led to a fire incident where a number of persons, I think about 5 of them, were killed in the process. A lot of people lost their cars. There are so many issues going on that the governor needs to look into, although that happened recently, but there has been incidents that have been happening in the state that he needs to pay attention to. The people need his attention as it is, and it's important that he begins to focus on that. He's meant to serve the interest of the people and not personal or political interests as it is. Yes, you belong to a political party, but the people are at the center of everything. We'll quickly bring you the news update.